Welcome future developers in lesson 8. Functions are distinct tasks which can be executed multiple times from various places in your code. Unlike loops, which repeats the code in one specific section, functions can be used to do the same thing anywhere where you need, like matrix multiplication. This is several lines of code what you should write, and anytime in your code when you wish to perform matrix multiplication, you would be forced to copy and paste the code again and again. Instead of duplicating the code, you can encapsulate the lines into function and use the function call. In Python, we define functions using def keyword. We have def spawn enemy, and anywhere in our game when we wish to spawn the enemy, we can just call spawn enemy. To customize functions behavior, you can use parameters to specify particular inputs. Here, attack power and defense are parameters that modify how our calculate damage function works. The formula is the same, of course, but the input values may differ. The return statement, what you can see there, gives back a result of the computation, which can be used elsewhere in your code. You can assign default values to your arguments, offering a baseline, which might be overridden when necessary. Here I have health and mana. If it's not specified otherwise, health will be 100 and mana will be 50. In Python, you can assign values to specific arguments, regardless of their order. This approach is particularly useful when you need to specify only certain arguments and keep the default values for others. We shall talk about variable scope. Local variables can be used inside of the function when they are defined or declared. Global variables can be used anywhere in your program. Global variables are the ones declared outside of functions, often at the start of your code. If you want to change a global variable's value inside of a function, you should use keyword global. And now, time for the project. Today it will be very simple, because with functions, everything is simple. We are going to build a combat system with attack and defense. Let's take a look on the final game. Enter your character's name. Josh. Welcome, Josh. Your adventure begins. Josh, health 100, dragon, health 150. Josh turn. Do you want to attack or defend? I want to attack. Josh deals 1 damage to dragon. Dragon's turn. Dragon deals 10 damage to Josh. Wow. Josh health 90, dragon health 149. Josh turn. Well, maybe now we can try to defend. Josh raises their defense. Defense increase to 15. Nice. Dragon deals 8 damage to Josh. We have 82 health, whereas dragon has 149. We can try defend again. Our defenses raised as expected, and dragon gave us 10 damage. So we have 72 life, and dragon 149. Let me attack for the last time. Josh deals 10 damage to dragon. Dragon's turn, dragon deals 6 damage to Josh. So our health is 66, and dragon's 139. Do you want to attack or defend? Well, I really don't want to play anymore. I'm going to just kill the console. Let's read the code together. At the beginning, you can see something new. Import random. Random is a library, and import is a command which includes the library into our code. You can imagine library as a set of commands, the way how to give you more features to work with. And the random library is going to be used to generate the random numbers, which we're gonna use to modify our base damage. First function is create character. It has 4 arguments: name, health, attack, and defense. It doesn't do anything else than taking these arguments and creating dictionary, returning this dictionary for future use. Let me skip other functions and check the very bottom. What you can see here is a function, but without def keyword. It means that this is not a function definition, this is actual call. And this will be the entry point, this will be the first function which our program is going to call. Let's check main game loop. It's defined here, right above. We have player name, and when I run the code, program is asking me, enter your character's name, Susan. Welcome, Susan. Your adventure begins. This is here. However, what happened before was creating these 2 characters. I created a player using a player name and setting health, attack, and defense for some arbitrary values. I created second character named Dragon with different health, attack, and defense. For that, I used the method create character, and that's the function we already inspected. By the way, you might hear me to use word function, but also method from time to time. For now, let's assume these are the same Now we have our actual game loop, infinite loop. First thing, display stats. Let's find display stats function. It's here. 2 arguments, player and enemy. I'm going to print player name and health as player health. You can see it here. The same for the enemy. Enemy name, enemy health. That's here, these 2 lines. Let's go back. Player turn with arguments, player and enemy. You can search for the function or you can hold left control or command and click. Here we are. Player turn. Print player name's turn. Susan turn. Susan's turn. Do you want to attack or defend? Here is just the classic what you already know. If I want to attack, I'm jumping to function perform attack. If I want to defend, I'm jumping to branch defend. This is how perform attack look like. For the damage, we are going to use functional calculate damage with attacker and defender. And calculate damage is here. I have variable base damage. Here is function max, and the function simply choose maximum value of the 2 arguments. So I have this as the first one and 0 as the second one. Point being here that if this will be negative, I'm not going to have negative base damage, I'm going to have 0. And how I'm actually computing that? I'm taking attack value of the attacker minus defense of the defender. Makes sense, right? Both attacker and defender are defined using this dictionary. And here's the funny part. I'm going to alter the base damage using random number. I believe you can guess. Random is my library and randint is a method which the library offers. You can probably guess it means random integer between the numbers -5 and 5. Any integer number in this interval can be chosen and used. If you jump back to the perform attack, we are here. I'm taking health of defender and I'm going to decrease the health based on the damage. And well, I'm going to write a message. So I want to attack and see, Susan deals 6 damage to dragon. Now the player turn function ends and I'm here. If check game over, break. It means jump from the loop. Check game over is here. In this check we are asking if the health of the player is negative. If yes, well, we are going to end the game. If the health of the enemy is negative, same thing, we are going to end the game again. But well, this will be a victory. Now it's time for the enemy. And because this didn't happen, I'm going to return false. Thus, this condition is false and we are going to continue. Enemy turn. Enemy turn is here. We are going to print enemy's name turn, which is dragon's turn. Perform attack. And here you can see how powerful the functions are. I'm applying the same rules for the player as for the enemy, so I'm being absolutely fair. And of course, as a nice bonus, there is no need for me to copy and paste the code. So I'm jumping here, and you already know what's going to happen. I'm going to check the game over again, and repeat the loop because the check is false. Display stats. Player turn. Now let's try defend branch. So this is our player turn. Here is the defense branch. Character, defense, +5. We got permanent bonus for our defense and printing a message. Character's name raises their defense. Defense increased to character defense. Happened here. Susan raises their defense. Defense increased to 15. And that's really it. You can play till the end. You can try to outsmart the dragon and be better. And as always, experiment, tuning the numbers. You can create more enemies, put them into list and choose the random enemy from the list based on its position. You can play with the randomization if you think that -5 and 5 is a little bit too much or too low. And what I would really recommend to think about is to give player an option to end the game without actually killing the terminal. That would be it for today. Functions are huge. Don't be scared if you cannot understand them deeply quite yet. Don't forget to practice. When you will be more advanced, you will be able to see functions everywhere. It's actually pretty difficult to program something without the functions. I guess you could also see it in the previous lessons if you experimented with the final projects. You might find yourself copy and paste code to several places doing the same thing. Now, if you have an urge to copy and paste, always stop yourself and think if using a function isn't a better option. It always is. We have 2 more lessons to go. If you like what you saw and if you want to see more in the future, don't forget to subscribe and see you next time in lesson 9.